Hi, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us here at SIT Study Abroad again. This time, I'm joined here by an alumna from our Tunisia Emerging Identities in North Africa program. Taylor, would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Taylor. So in my third year at the University of Pittsburgh, where I'm studying political science and global studies, and I'm minoring in French.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for taking some time to speak with me today. I hope you're enjoying your spring break back home, but
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's also a very nice city. So now, first question for you is there are lots of options to study abroad in the Middle East and in general. So what appealed to you about the SIT program and made you decide on SIT Tunisia?
Yeah, so one thing I really liked about SIT in general was that they had the ISP, and so it was an independent research project. And that really appealed to me, especially because I'm doing research for graduation and things like that. So to kind of get a jump start on that with in-country experience was definitely a big piece that led me to choose an SIT program in general. And then as far as Tunisia, so yeah, I definitely, I focus on the Middle East for global studies, and I was definitely torn. So I looked at Jordan, Morocco, both which are like great programs, but what really drew me to Tunisia was just the crossroads of so many different cultures all meeting in one spot. I have like the French language background, and so that was a big thing, like the history of like French culture that's there and the fact that French is so widely spoken. And then also just the fact that Tunisia has been I think the center of so many different cultural events that we don't even realize, that I definitely experienced when I was there. And then its role in the Arab Spring. I mean, I'm a political science major, so talking about the politics and everything like that had happened so recently, to see such a new democracy was definitely really appealing for me as well. So yeah, so I think just like the fact that it offered so much that it's very different and very unique. And I think a lot of people don't know about it. And that kind of in some ways drew me to go there as well.
I feel like you're segueing into all the different
Oh, yeah.
questions I have for you, so that's perfect.
Good.
Now, I'm going to be a little hard on you here and say if you had to pick one aspect of your SIT program as your favorite, what would that be?
The weather. No, I tell that to everyone. I'm like, the weather is gorgeous. I mean, I love the sun. So, that's maybe a superficial answer. I think that one of the things that made the program so amazing in Tunisia was the staff and just how helpful and outgoing they were in country. And it made me feel so comfortable being in such a different culture. It was, the adjustment period was, made a lot easier with that, having them around. And then also I would say like the host family experience was one of my favorite aspects. I got placed with like an amazing host family. So that was like an awesome part of that as well.
Did you get placed with a francophone host family or an
Yeah. Yeah.
Aruba?
So my host mom was actually French. Oh, sorry. And then my host dogs. And my host dad was Tunisian.
I think I've actually heard about that family because they are chosen quite
Yeah.
often for students that want to speak French.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Hey. Gosh, I don't have to deal with this anymore. I didn't have a dog in Tunisia, so that was easier.
That's totally fine. He wants the attention, and he
Yeah, she
doesn't want
wanted
you to give me the attention. But
Yeah.
that's fine. The part of these Google Plus interviews are just the spontaneity of it.
Yeah.
So,
There you
which is
go.
definitely what we have. So now, did you continue to study French while you were there, or did you pick up some Arabic along the way?
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't actually study French in class at all. So I took my class that I took was Arabic. So I practiced French all the time at home, living with my host family. But then, yeah, I did Arabic in class, which was really interesting. And I'm actually continuing to take Arabic now at school as well.
That's good. Now, let's jump back a little bit. You mentioned the independent study project
Mhm.
aspect as being a big draw for you.
Yeah.
So, what did you study there, and have you had a chance to continue studies in the region or topic of the Tunisia program while you're back at Pitt?
Yeah. So when I was there, my independent study project was on Tunisian women bloggers, or people blogging about like women's rights in Tunisia. And then when I got back home, I kind of am extending that project. I actually have to do independent research for graduation. So I'm keeping the Tunisian context, just because I think it's really important to talk about Tunisia, and very few people like know that much about it. So so I'm continuing the Tunisian context and just kind of expanding it, just looking at kind of like the history of feminism in Tunisia, and then how like this post-revolution, how the internet is kind of playing a role.
That's very cool there. So you have to make sure if you go further with it, you let us know because we
Yeah.
definitely like hearing what our alumni are up to.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
So now to change topics a little bit, but you did mention this before. You said SIT, not a lot of people know about it, and you know that our programs are intentionally capped small so we can
Yeah.
give you the real intimate experiential learning environment. But on the other hand, that means that not a lot of people know who we are, and we're based here, tucked
Yeah.
away in the southern Green Mountains. So we're a good, well-kept secret sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
how would you explain SIT to somebody who doesn't know who we are?
Yeah, so I think a big piece of SIT, and especially our program was actually only 8 people, so it was an especially small group, smaller than usual. But I think a big piece of SIT is just like having that community feel amongst the students. We are all so tight knit, and with the staff as well, everyone is just very yeah, close knit, and you do so many experiences just together as a group. And that's not to say that there's not opportunities to get out and meet local Tunisians. I met plenty of people who are living in Tunisia as well. But it definitely, to have that kind of home base and like that group of people and that support is really, really important. And it's just helps in so many aspects because, I mean, the staff, grew up in Tunisia. They're great resources, and Munir's awesome, so can always point you in the right direction.
That is definitely true, and I can't wait till I can get there myself to visit Munir and his
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
So now, if there was one thing that you know now that you wish you knew before you applied to the program, what would that be?
Ooh, I don't know. I think a big piece maybe that was a challenge that I didn't even think about going into it was probably the host family experience. I guess just, you kind of think it's going to be easy, like, oh, you just like are living with a family. And it's definitely challenging at times, especially I hadn't practiced French in so long, and then I just got thrown in this family and they just all spoke to me in French. But it ended up being the best experience. So I think that, my piece of advice is always like, don't get freaked out because it's easy in those first couple of weeks of being there to just completely freak out about everything, and you're gonna get over it, and it's gonna be like an amazing experience in the end.
I'm glad to hear it turned out to be such an amazing experience because I know you were in Tunisia during a interesting period.
Yeah,
There was a curfew imposed by the Tunisian government when you were there, correct?
yeah. There was a small scale terrorist attack when we were there, but it was just targeting but yeah, it was like a targeting like Tunisian
The
military and
presidential
security
guard.
forces and stuff.
Yeah.
So they did impose a curfew, which was interesting. It was like an early curfew, which was kind of annoying in our last couple weeks of being there. But there was definitely I felt safe the whole time I was there, and I think that's a really important aspect. Especially, I mean, there's these are tough times, in so many ways, but the program itself is like always keeping us updated, keeping people back home updated. And then if anything was even remotely putting us in danger, I knew that we would be taken care of. And there was none of that. I mean, we were perfectly safe. We were just students just living there. And yeah, I felt completely comfortable.
Well, excellent. Thank you. I'm glad we did make this talk happen today. We've come to the end of my questions, but I always like to give the alumni the last word. So if there was one thing you would want to say to a prospective student out there who's contemplating studying abroad in Tunisia, the Middle East, or just in general, what would that be?
Yeah, I think my biggest piece of advice is do it. Don't be scared of anything. It's going to be a challenging experience. I tell people you get there and you're learning something every day just by existing. And I think that is an amazing experience that that a university setting can offer you, and take advantage of these opportunities as they come along. And I think it's fun. So it's you learn, but it's fun at the same time, and you get to just see so much more that you never would. So my biggest piece of advice is don't hesitate, but just do it.
Don't hesitate, just do it. I think we have a new tagline for SIT.
Yeah, there you go. The new SIT logo like that printed underneath.
Exactly. Well, thank you again for taking your time today, and I wish you the best of luck at Pitt, and say hi to Pittsburgh for me. I do miss it.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good afternoon.
All right. Bye.